Welcome back to Flashpoint Essay, your number one destination for hard-hitting political revelations, bold voices, and the stories others are too afraid to tell. In a shocking turn of events, former ANC Secretary-General Ace Magashule has come out guns blazing with a political revelation that could reopen old wounds within the African National Congress. In an explosive keynote address that has set South African political circles abuzz, Magashule has confirmed what many have suspected for years, that former Deputy President David Mabuza was in fact a key backer of Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma's campaign for ANC President during the highly contentious 2017 elective conference. Magashule, speaking with characteristic fire and defiance, laid bare the internal power struggles that defined the run-up to the 2017 conference, held at Nasrec. He revealed that despite widespread belief that Mabuza was leaning towards Cyril Ramaphosa at the time, he had secretly pledged support to Dlamini-Zuma behind the scenes. This claim, if true, not only complicates the narrative around Ramaphosa's rise to power, but also raises serious questions about loyalty, betrayal, and the deep factionalism that continues to plague the ANC to this day. As many will recall, the ANC's 54th National Conference was a political battleground of unprecedented scale. The stakes couldn't have been higher. On one side stood Cyril Ramaphosa, riding a wave of anti-corruption sentiment and promising a new dawn. On the other, Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, backed by Jacob Zuma's RET, Radical Economic Transformation, faction, represented a continuation of a more populist and nationalist trajectory. The conference ended in a narrow victory for Ramaphosa by just 179 votes, a margin so slim it left room for years of speculation about what really happened behind the scenes. According to Magashule, one of the most critical behind-the-scenes moves came from Mabuza himself. Magashule claims that Mabuza had privately assured the NDZ camp that his powerful Mpumalanga province, which had a large voting bloc, would throw its weight behind Dlamini-Zuma. However, when voting commenced, many of those delegates shockingly swung to Ramaphosa. Magashule says that this was seen by the NDZ camp as a betrayal of epic proportions, and that Mabuza's last-minute shift played a decisive role in tilting the outcome of the conference in Ramaphosa's favor. But now, years later, Magashule claims that the narrative the public has been fed is incomplete. He suggests that Mabuza never truly defected from the NDZ camp. Rather, his actions were part of a larger, more complex political chess game. Whether it was double-crossing, survival strategy, or mere opportunism, Magashule insists Mabuza's allegiance to Dlamini-Zuma was genuine at the start, and his sudden support for Ramaphosa was a masterstroke in political misdirection that confused even his closest allies. This revelation is more than just historical drama. It speaks to the current state of the ANC, a party still riddled with divisions, mistrust, and unresolved factional animosities. Magashule's remarks are seen by many analysts not just as a reflection of the past, but as a warning shot for the future. By dragging Mabuza's name back into the spotlight, he may be reigniting tensions that have merely been simmering beneath the surface. David Mabuza, a man long regarded as the cat with 9 lives in ANC politics, has maintained a largely low profile since stepping down as Deputy President in 2023. Known for his quiet maneuvering and ability to stay one step ahead of political downfall, Mabuza has often been described as the kingmaker who made Ramaphosa's presidency possible. If Magashule's allegations hold weight, they suggest that Mabuza's political role has been far more ambiguous and possibly more calculated than previously understood. It's also worth noting the timing of Magashule's keynote. Coming just months after the formation of his new political party, the African Congress for Transformation, ACT, his remarks can be seen as a deliberate strategy to stir the political pot, reassert his relevance, and remind South Africans of the power plays that define the ANC's most pivotal moments. It's a reminder that the past is never really past, and that the players on South Africa's political stage are still very much entangled in battles that began long before 2024. Reactions to Magashule's comments have been fierce and divided. Some have dismissed them as sour grapes from a man ousted from the ANC after corruption charges and now seeking to tarnish his former comrades. Others, particularly those aligned with the RET faction, have hailed his statements as long overdue truth-telling. Social media exploded with debates, memes, and sharp commentary, with Mabuza, NDZ, and Ace Speaks trending for hours after the keynote. What can't be denied is that Ace Magashule remains one of the most controversial and polarizing figures in modern South African politics. Whether viewed as a truth-teller exposing the ANC's hidden wars or a political outcast lashing out in desperation, his words carry weight, and they will undoubtedly have ripple effects as the country prepares for another turbulent electoral cycle. As the political dominoes begin to fall once again, one thing is clear: the drama within the ANC is far from over. The ghost of Nasrec 2017 still haunts the corridors of Luthuli House, and with every new revelation, South Africans are reminded just how much was at stake, and how much still is. In a party where yesterday's ally can become tomorrow's enemy, and where political fortunes rise and fall with breathtaking speed, Magashule's latest bombshell has ensured that the story of ANC's internal battles remains very much alive. Thank you for watching Flashpoint Essay, where the truth is raw, real, and unapologetic. If you found this report insightful, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel so you never miss the stories shaking the foundations of South African politics. Stay tuned, stay alert, and stay informed.